That's a...
Yeah. A lavalier mic for you. And so...
Started at the strip with the road went wide.
I love it.
She represents a Merc sharpened dome. And this is a special one for me.
Awesome.
It is.
It is
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. Me too.
Okay.
I just keep staring at him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
stop
I'm looking at
looking.
you too. I'm saying, God, because you look exactly the same to me. It's only you're taller.
We'll get going now.
Okay.
Yes, we are here with Artie Kornfeld, and Artie is one of the loves of our life. We came of age, I believe, with our business. We came of age with the music business. The 60s was the birth and the emergence of all of it, and we held our own because of this guy right here. We held our own in the candy field for a while.
I'm at Mercury, and and I come off working with the Spoonful and the Turtles and a lot of other great groups that we and I was assigned the Cowsills, and you had
We were an assignment.
Yeah, you were an assignment, and I said to myself, all of my friends were sort of putting me, my studio musician friends, and what are you doing with a kid group? This can't happen. I said, well, America was founded on the family situation, and it sort of faded away. And I heard a demo that you guys did, and I thought it was really good, and that was River Blue. We started working, and then I went on the road. I think it was a weekend I had to be with Chuck Berry. And when I came back, after working with the guys, and Duboff and I, had like 30 songs on the chart. We were writing very prolifically. And when I came back, I saw a memo, and we had an A&R meeting, which I should have been at, and they said, and we dropped the Cowsills. I said, drop the Cowsills? I said, I sort of didn't take that well, so what I did is I said, you know what? I resigned, and when I write the song, they're going to be number one. And that's what I said to Irving Green when I resigned in Shelby.
So you resigned from Mercury?
Because they let you go. Yeah,
You did?
I gave up my job, yeah.
Wow.
And then what you don't know is I sort of supported you guys before Stogel was even in the picture for a year and a half.
Right, so now you're with now there's only 4 brothers in this group,
Yeah,
right?
there's only 4 brothers, and yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so Mercury's
And
the
you're
4th
hanging
brother.
out with, and I started hanging out. Yeah, that's why you saw me a lot, because, I had done okay enough that I said, what the heck, I'm just going to put it all behind the Cowsills, because it became, the Cowsills are going to, are going to be huge.
Okay, so we're dropped from a label.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get on board and you say,
Yeah,
they're wrong, and here I'm
Yeah, right. I live by principles before personalities, and I just thought it was, it was some kind of political. I didn't like the reason, and also I believed in the kids. Oh yeah, you don't know any
Hold
of
it
this
right there.
It's amazing.
New story you never heard, huh?
I know, that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so at the age of 23,
Okay.
you decide that you know better than the record company.
Well, I
That
did.
way.
Well, first of all, just the principle that this is my act. I'm on the decision-making board at Mercury,
But we
and
have-
while
we-
I was out of town, they had a meeting, and dropped you.
But right at the beginning of this time period right here, we're without a label, we're
Right.
without a song,
Right.
but we have you.
Right, and somehow I got it together. Lenny wasn't involved at all, and I got it together to get you the house in Newport.
You were part of that.
Yeah, of course I was part of that.
Of course
yeah.
he was part of that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Of course
yeah,
he was
Lenny,
part of that.
Lenny didn't.
Chuck
Lenny,
Berry, my house in Newport,
Yeah, no, it just, and then.
So you helped Dad get that big giant house?
Yeah, I did. And then I'm still thinking, the kids are rehearsing, and
And we're looking.
I'm just saying, Duboff, we got to write the song that is right to make this group happen. They have all the ingredients. We we got to make the kids happen. It was the kids. We got to make the kids happen. And.
So you sat down and wrote a song specifically with us in mind?
Yeah. Actually, the Rain in the Park, the real story behind it, no one really knows but me anyway, what the lyrics really say. You know, I know what they really mean, you know, and I'll leave it to interpretation, you know, to other people. You know, it was almost a prediction of the future. It was a lot of things involved in that song. You know, it was sort of shamanistic, that song, actually, in a way. It was just a message, you know, in a very bleak world. You know, on the surface, just, you know, you remember, well, I'll get to that I had to change the name 2 days before it was coming out.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
All
So
right,
anyway, we sit down and just comes like that. Steve and I at the piano, it's just like that. You
That's
know,
amazing.
I don't know. I don't think it took 3 hours to write the song.
Now, tell me this, only because we're in this timeline.
Okay.
Because we're going from four brothers, but eventually my mom is in this group. Now,
Your mom did not want to be in the group. I did not want your mom in the group.
I didn't want
You
to.
know,
There's you,
I actually
my
saw.
mom, me, and Bill. What happened?
But it was a battle.
Well, what happened? I mean, who?
No, it was after I
Who came
finished.
up with
After I
this?
finished,
This
your dad. It
was
was your
insane.
dad's push. You know, it's what cost you the Partridge Family. It was your dad's push. It's like I have a group. Well, I don't want to get into that because I don't want to hurt anybody. But anyway,
That's cool. So you're just told then?
no,
like the
it
rest
wasn't.
of
No,
us?
no, not at all.
Well,
no.
what was your
It was
defense?
after the record. The record was done. The record was done. And all of a sudden, your father out of nowhere, and the record was done, and everybody's. You know, what happened was.
No, but she sang
Before
on the
the
record.
no, yeah, but that was done a month after we finished the record. The only problem in the studio, of course, was you know, your dad. Your dad was always a problem. He was like Barbara was wonderfully beautiful, like a flower child.
Yes.
She really was, and I loved her dearly. And I was friends with your dad, you know. Did not like him when he drank at all. Didn't want to be around him at all. It was, you know, it was really Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with him. And I really wanted you guys to come across like a really cool rock band, just that you were younger.
Well, my idea was
Yeah,
too.
I thought the 4-piece band was great.
Yes.
And you know, and it was. At one point, you don't remember it, you were doing some harmonies, and he came out and slapped Barry in the face.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
something.
and I pushed him out of the studio, and I just took him and I threw him up against the wall. I said, "Don't ever come into the room when I'm producing, ever."
Wow.
You know. And by the way, do you feel better that you just took a shot at someone that's like weighs 1/8 of what you weigh?
Yeah.
You know. I don't think you have ownership. You know, you're a father. You know.
Well,
And,
you had to deal with the whole package.
yeah, so at that point, you know, Bud knew that he would have to somehow get me out some way at some point to have his way.
Control.
Yeah, well, yeah. And as soon as, you know, the Rain the Park hit, and I don't even know if you know what really happened with We Can Fly, because we wrote it.
No,
all
I
of
know,
us.
but then you were gone. See?
No, what happened was, I wasn't told a thing. Dig where your father and Lenny were at. I have the session booked. All the band shows up, Wisner's there, and we cut We Can Fly. And then you guys never show up. I had not had any word that anything was wrong.
Wow.
And you guys just didn't show up, so I finished the session. I think it was Beautiful Beige, it was We Can Fly, and another song.
Yeah.
And I finished the tracks. Next thing I knew is your dad wanted me out. I don't know, did you cut tracks on it too?
Yeah.
Because what you did is you copied the exact
I know.
arrangement.
But you know what?
What?
I didn't know why.
Yeah, well,
I didn't know why.
Yeah, I'm telling you why.
I
because-
didn't know that yours had to be replaced by ours. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I didn't know why either, because this was all a shock to me.
All right, so
I knew as much as you.
Jeez, you must have. All right, look. So
We
back up.
cried. We cried. Linda and I cried.
Oh.
We actually cried. It wasn't losing a band or
It doesn't.
anything. It was.
No, but this you had
it
taken
ju-
this to now. Raymond
No,
Park is number one.
It just represented everything I stood against my whole life.
Yeah.
In human beings, it showed really the greed, the power tripping ugliness of human beings.
Yeah.
You know, and to take what they did is they took away the soul of the Cowsills when they started with me.
Oh, they definitely
Yeah,
totally did that.
because
It was all happening then.
because I had already talked about the idea of a TV show before.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll
because
bet.
I already talked about it, and, yeah.
But,
So
so Rain the Park is number one. I remember
yeah,
that.
and
I remember in your apartment, you took a phone call. We were there, and it went to number one.
yeah, knocked out Daydream Believer in Billboard.
Yeah, it went to number. And you
Went
you
to
took the
number
phone,
2
and
in
you told us that.
Cashbox, and it went to number
You
1.
told it. We're number one.
Well, then I said to Linda, see, I was right.
Yeah,
'Cause
I remember that call.
I was right turning down the Monkees because I just knocked them out of first place. So I guess I made the right decision,
Because we were at your place writing or something and doing what we did there, and
Well, we had a good time.
That call came in. I love going to your place. That was what
Yeah,
it was
well, we
all
had a good
about.
time,
That's what it was all about.
Yeah, having a good time.
Just riding that wave.
Yeah.
All right, so
And you guys were brilliant with harmonies. You were just so brilliant with harmonies. You really were.
well, that was our thing.
Yeah, it was really,
And
Actually, I sort of copied in the whole thing. I sort of copied when Joe Wizard, when we were signed to Cowsill and Rubin together before, when he did Happy Together.
yeah,
And I was there writing with Brian Wilson during the Good Vibrations days. So I was really into layering vocals and the Jan and Dean stuff. I was into those hidden, hardly, I was really one of the first person that really layered.
Oh no,
mixes.
you taught us how to do it. What do
Yeah,
you mean?
just to find the spot, and even if it's not heard, it's there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it has to be, so I still do the same thing, same exact thing. And yeah, this was a big hurt. This was really like a stab in the back by someone who pretended he was my best friend, your father.
And why?
Because
Did he have you-
because he knew that why? Because he was a stupid man.
Well, I know that.
He was a stupid man, and he figured, oh, he could get more for us. Why should Artie get, this, and, I'll have the kids write the songs instead of Artie. And,
Oh, they handed it right to us, like, huh?
Yeah, right.
We're ready for this?
Yeah, and I knew nothing about it until you didn't show up at a session. They didn't even tell me, there's troubles, let's cancel the session, which would have been like the human correct way to do it.
Well, did you sue anybody?
No,
false-
I just sat down.
Were you litigious at all?
No, just sat down with my lawyers and them and just worked out a deal and left,
And that was it.
Yeah,